Whoop, some motherfucking whoop, guys. You already know it's the one, the lame Juggalo, and I look a little dark today, but I don't care. Um, Topic of the week was by me, and it was racist juggalos. Is it possible? Um, Now, I've done this on my personal channel. I've done this video on my personal channel, and Miss Satanic Juggalo, that's probably why you thought that it was on Juggalo a Day, because it was on my personal channel, and I was the one who brought up the topic on Juggalo a Day. But, anyways, I have had people say that, you've ran into racist juggalos, you've ran into people who are juggalos and racist. I'm sorry, they may have, repped Hatchet, but I'm sorry, in my opinion, there's no such thing as a racist juggalo. It's an oxymoron. If you guys don't know what an oxymoron is, look it up. An oxymoron is basically something that cannot be possible. That's basically like you're saying you're a straight edge drinker. It's not possible. Um, because ICP stands for a lot. They stand up against child molestation, they stand up against domestic violence, they stand up against perverts, they stand up against racism, they stand up against, inequality, they stand up for the poverty-stricken man, they stand up for a lot of things, and they talk about a lot of things like that. You know, Basically, when they referred to in chicken hunting and stuff like that, they referred to rednecks as racists. Now, redneck is basically a term that's racist in itself, but basically what is going on with that is Violent J said himself when he went down to, I believe it was, no, please don't quote me on this because I'm like kind of out of my mind and I think I'm right on this. I know I've read it. I believe it was Kentucky. Um, but anyways, he was living down in Kentucky for a short amount of time, and while he was there, he seen the racism that came from people in that area, and they were referred to as rednecks. That's where chicken hunting came from. That's where redneck hoe came from. That's where rebel flag came from. It came from the people being discriminated against for their skin color. And Joe Bruce didn't think that was right. Um, in reality, who really does think that's right? Who has morals? I mean, seriously, what makes any race better than another? What what makes the fact that I'm white better than somebody who's black? I mean, you know, we've had problems in the past with ethnicities and races and stuff like that. That doesn't necessarily mean anything by today. I'm getting sick and tired of, I'm getting sick and tired of hearing, and I'm not just saying this in the Juggalo community, I'm saying it all throughout. I'm sick and tired of hearing that white is the more powerful race. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing that, and I'm not just saying this as being my skin race, but, I'm getting sick and tired of African Americans thinking that some of them, not all of them. I've had this said to me before. I'm getting sick and tired of African Americans thinking that white people owe them something because of slavery. I'm sorry, but just because, if it was that I were to have had slave owner ancestors, that doesn't mean that I owe you anything. That's what my ancestors did, not me. But, this is kind of more than just, do I think that racists can be juggalos? It's going a little bit further than that. But I'm basically saying what I think racist is wrong. But, you know, no race is more important. No race is more superior than another. And for a juggalo to have that mentality, you really don't know what it means to be a juggalo. You really don't represent juggalo to its fullest extent if you think that you're better than somebody else. Um, like I said, before, juggalos are the misfits, basically. Juggalos are, the people that couldn't find a place where they belonged in another form of, you know, clique, I guess you could say. They found acceptance in what is the dark carnival, what is, being a juggalo. And for them to be discriminated against by their skin color, something that they cannot control, is sickening. Because in reality, that's why they came here in the first place. They came here to be accepted for who they are by things that they cannot control. They cannot control that they're necessarily outcasted by everybody because that's who they are. That's who they want to be. They want to be themselves. And you know what? That causes them to be a misfit. That's something that they can't control because they want to be themselves. Um, you can't really control well, you can kind of control your religion, but you can't control your beliefs. Um, you can't control your skin color. You can't control where you live if you have no ways of moving. You can't control your sexual orientation. So for somebody to bash on somebody for their race or for, their sexual orientation, you're not following what, it is really to be a juggalo. And no, there isn't rules to an extent, but I'm sorry, but if you can't follow the sayings of what Shag and Jay say. I don't care how far back. I don't care if it's 91. I don't care if it's 97. I don't care if it's 95. It's still there. And no matter what, they still believe the same beliefs as they did back then as they do now. They still believe racism is wrong. Yes, Violent J has some issues and he is kind of a homophobic, but that is for good reason. You know, he said himself, he's had problems with molestation, things like that. So therefore, he's going to, be a little bit weary of being around a gay guy, which is kind of explainable. You know, I was molested as a child. I'm afraid of men. Does it make sense? Of course it does. You know, but I'm rambling because, I'm just getting all of my emotions out on this because I had somebody tell me that claims to be an OG and it doesn't matter, but they think that it's so good and they have to make sure that they are verified as an OG, which pisses me off in the first place. But, an OG is claiming this kind of things when, you're supposed to be a hardcore in this, supposedly. But yet, you're saying that it's okay to discriminate against fellow juggalos? I don't know. Honestly, I think that you have something wrong with you. But, honestly, oxymoron. There's no such thing as a racist juggalo. You may listen to the music. You may be a fan of the ICP. You may be a fan of Psychopathic Records. But in my opinion, if you're a racist, you're not a true juggalo. But yeah, I'm gonna get going, guys. Much motherfucking wicked, calm love. And don't forget to always keep it wicked. Later, guys.